than we want them to, or are they aging kind of somewhere in between? And if they're aging faster than we want them to, we want to find out why and what we can do about it.
All right, now you have a battery of tests you can put someone through to get a read on this?
That's exactly right. So the purpose of neuropsychological testing is to look at a lot of different functions of a person's brain. And then once we've given a person these tests, we take each individual domain, each of their thinking skills, we can compare them to other people their age, and in some cases at their level of education. And then once we've done that, we compare them to themselves based on how we think they should be performing.
I know some people have a fear of these tests because they're afraid they're going to fail the test. How do you deal with that with a patient who wants to do well, but is concerned about an outcome that may lead to something else down the line?
So it is a scary thing for sure. The way that I try to phrase it to people is, you're going to be doing this test and you're going to be giving me your best effort. You cannot do any better than your best effort. It is what it is. So you're going to try your hardest. Whatever your hardest is going to be what it is. You can't change that. So there's no point in being nervous if all you're going to do is try your best.
And there's no studying up for this test either, I think.
Unfortunately.
Okay. There is some reporting and research that shows that the signs of Alzheimer's or other cognitive impairment disease may be showing up more in younger people. Are you seeing that in your work at all?
So to some extent, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that we're a lot more aware of these changes in people as they're getting older. So with every decade that a person ages, they're exponentially more likely to develop dementia. So we're much better at recognizing the signs of dementia at an earlier age than we were. But the fact of the matter is that we're leading very unhealthy lives. We are very, very sedentary. Our diets are very poor, and all of these things are risk factors for dementia.
Well, this is a great time to bring up what we can do. There are steps you can take. There are factors and lifestyles that we can utilize to slow progression, to maybe just keep our brains healthy. What do you recommend?
The number one risk factor for Alzheimer's disease is increasing age, and you cannot do anything about that.
You can't slow that down, can you?
You're going to keep getting older. You can't do anything about that. But the number two risk factor, and the one that we can control, is vascular health. Really, vascular health is what you want to focus on because that's what we can control. When I say vascular health, I mean blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, thyroid disease, smoking, obesity, exercise, diet. Managing all of those things are by far the most important thing that a person can do to decrease their risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. So you just kind of want to stay healthy, stay active. If it's good for your heart, it's good for your brain.
Somebody sitting out there and says, well, that's all good, but I've done all that, and it's maybe too late for me. Can you slow down your progress towards a problem even by changing your lifestyle now?
Yes, absolutely. It's never too late to slow down the risk for Alzheimer's disease. It's never ever too late. And even if a person does have Alzheimer's disease, making lifestyle changes can slow the progression of the disease after it's diagnosed. So it's never too late to give yourself some kind of a cognitive benefit through that.
Got about 90 seconds left for this segment. Are there brain exercises? Can we exercise our brain and try to fend off some of these impairments, some of these cognitive losses?
Sure, absolutely. What I want to stress before I say anything, though, is that vascular health is the most important thing, more important than brain exercises, the most important. But yes, there are cognitive exercises that we can do. Reading a book is a much, much better thing to do with your time than watching TV. I think that for my money, if you're going to do one activity, it's reading a book with a plot is the best thing you can do. You don't necessarily need any fancy brain exercises or brain apps, though a lot of those are great. But if you just read a book, it forces your mind to work. It forces you to follow a plot. It forces you to use your memory. You have to juggle a lot of information in your mind at once. It's very good exercise for your brain. That's the number one thing I'd say, but also doing Sudoku and other kinds of brain exercises like puzzles is also very good.
All right, that is something we can actually do. Dr. Raphael Wald, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Hope you gave people some incentive to maybe make some changes if they need to. We have a lot more to come on this program. Next, the biggest risk factors for Alzheimer's when On the Record continues.
Teachers inspire and help shape the future of our kids and communities. WPBF 25 wants to recognize an amazing teacher each month. Tell us about a teacher whose commitment has made a huge difference. Go to WPBF.com or scan the QR code now to nominate. Every month, WPBF 25 will surprise a teacher with $1,000 to fund their classroom projects.
WPBF 25 Teacher of the Month, sponsored by KL, the injury attorneys that ring the bell.
There's no place like the road home. Receive a $5,500 bonus on the new 2024 Audi Q5 plug-in hybrid during the Season of Audi sales event.
When you need a fighter, you need us.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Most insurance companies are big, really big. Imagine you're injured and now you have to fight for justice. Our results and reputation are well known to the other side. As America's largest injury firm, our Army will fight like hell for you. We have the resources to take on the biggest insurance companies in America. When you're fighting to get what you deserve, it's go big or go home.
When you need a fighter, you need us.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Are you sure? You tend to exaggerate. Go ahead. Call him yourself.
Thank you for calling Aetna. How can I help you?
Do you really have Medicare plans that cover dental, vision, and hearing?
Yes, all three. Plus, we have plans that include a monthly allowance for certain over-the-counter products.
Really?
That's right. Aetna also has Medicare Advantage plans with a $0 monthly plan premium.
Oh, I like that.
Don't wait. Call 1-888-AETNA-23 to find an Aetna Medicare Advantage plan that meets your unique needs.
Sign and drive with 0 down, 0 due at signing, and 0 first payment on select Volvo SUVs during the Holiday Safely sales event.
There's no place like the road home. Receive a $5,500 bonus on the new 2024 Audi Q5 plug-in hybrid during the Season of Audi sales event.
You're watching On the Record on WPBF 25.
Joining me now is neurologist Dr. Peter Glebus, Director of Cognitive Behavioral Neurology at Baptist Health's Marcus Neuroscience Institute. Doctor, thanks for being here first. Let's talk about new emerging treatments for Alzheimer's. What's out there? What are you seeing? What's exciting? People always want to know what the latest is.
Absolutely. Thanks. Thank you for having me. What you're referring to are these new treatments that were approved. One was approved 1.5 years ago, another was approved several months ago, and these are the infusion medications, the monoclonal antibodies that we administer. And what they do, they decrease the amyloid plaque in the brain, and by doing that, it slows down the disease progression. The effect is mild to modest, but it's definitely a movement to the right direction, and that gives people extra months, to live, to enjoy their lives. And, during those extra months, new treatments might emerge.
Right.
So that's definitely we're moving the right direction.
Let's talk more about that, about what it actually is doing in the brain and the amyloid plaque and how it affects it. Without getting too deep into it, giving people an idea of what the effect is.
Sure. So Alzheimer's disease, one of the components of Alzheimer's disease is formation of this amyloid plaque in the brain. And what we're infusing is the antibodies that attach to that amyloid plaque, and it clears out of the brain or significantly reduces the level of amyloid plaque. By doing that, it reduces the speed of progression of the disease, and that is what we call a disease-modifying effect of the treatment.
And just so people know, is this something that's available on a wide scale right now for Alzheimer's patients, or is it still limited?
No, it's FDA approved, and many places are already administered. You do have to have an infrastructure. You have to have infusion units. You have to have a special training for infusion. You have to have protocols, but it's available.
What kind of impact are you seeing from these treatments?
It doesn't stop at disease progression. It doesn't reverse. What we are seeing actually is that the people are progressing, but they're progressing at a slower rate than what they would be expected to progress.
Best case scenario, under current treatments, how much more time are they getting until they see more serious progression?
From the studies, from the studies, and the studies lasted about 18 months, and it gave additional 6 months of the functionality prolongation of that.
And as you said, as we're talking now, there could be more research coming online. Talk about the importance of screening early diagnosis for people.
It's very important. The important one thing, these treatments are approved only for the mild cases. So the milder you are, it's more likely the medication will be effective. And from the same studies, those studies show that if you start treatment at the mildest, at the beginning of the disease, the effect can be significant. And some people actually even stop progressing for some time. So that is very important. The other thing, when we identify early cases, there's also a lot of research going on. It opens people to possibilities, to join any research project. And also, it's when we diagnose early, it gives people a chance to plan for the future.
I know that you're dealing with the present, but in looking towards the future, how close are we getting to perhaps something even more dramatic in treating Alzheimer's patients?
Very good question, very frequent question.
Sure.
Not months away, but probably in several years, we're going to be having more and more meaningful treatments, because the research, it's not only the medications, but there is so much research, including stem cells, including all the other modalities. So it's definitely the things will start changing soon.
We see all these reports that Alzheimer's and other similar cognitive impairment are being diagnosed more frequently. Is this because it is more frequent, or are we better able to spot it?
The frequency itself is going because we're living longer. Okay, so we're seeing the cases longer, but people are also, we're losing the stigma. So people are not afraid to come and say, and to be evaluated that they have memory problems. People are more aware, we're better in diagnosing. We have tools that we didn't have even several years ago.
And I want the rest of this program, we'll be talking a lot about hope. There is some real hope.
There is, definitely there is. And even at Marcus, we'll be joining some clinical trials that probably could change the landscape.
All right, make sure you tell us about those.
I will.
Dr. Peter Glebus, thanks so much for being here today.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
We appreciate it. Coming up, more on the latest research along with a local woman's personal story.
Florida needs a power company that's storm ready. That's why FPL works year-round to keep the power on and restore it safely and as quickly as possible when needed. FPL, working for you every single day.
It's the Rooms to Go holiday sale, and we're celebrating in style. Choose your perfect look, like this stylish two-piece sectional on sale for $9.99. Save on beautiful rooms like this, just $14.95 or $31 a month interest-free. Shop our incredible selection room by room and bring home dining sets like this or this, just in time for the holidays. At Rooms to Go, you get both great sale prices and 50-month interest-free financing. Now during the Rooms to Go holiday sale.
You don't need any old health plan. You need a plan with real health solutions that fit your life and your budget.
Excuse me, coming through.
This open enrollment period, let's find your solution from Florida Blue. Call us at 1-866-284-0879 to get a plan that makes getting care convenient with doctors around the corner.
I can get used to that.
Plus, 24/7 access to care, because you never know when you'll need it. Plans that keep more money in your pocket, with plan payments as low as $0.
$0. Looks good to me.
Plans with $0 preventive care to help keep you healthy, in body and mind. Affordable plans that also offer adult vision and dental coverage.
I'm smiling already. Where do I sign up?
Let's find your health solution. Speak to a dedicated Florida Blue agent today. Call 1-866-284-0879 or visit floridablue.com/yoursolution.
I'm Jill Hazy.
And I'm Erin Burns.
We invite you to join us this Sunday for Total Retirement with Ernie Burns, where we'll discuss wealth management, estate planning, and more.
Ernie was named 2022's Forbes Best In-State Security Professional. You don't want to miss it.
Hi, I'm Scott Smith with Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather Florida Injury Lawyers. This is Tank. Tank is a 175-pound Neapolitan Mastiff. Tank is huge and powerful. Our law firm's purpose is to provide legal power for our clients. Our mission is to secure huge results. If you've been injured, let us put our legal power to work for you in fighting for your huge result. Call us at 500-HELP. Help is just a local phone call away.
Shane Wright, Yanni Caracas, only on WPBF 25 Sports.
Welcome back. Joining me now is Keith Gibson, research champion of the Alzheimer's Association, Amy Daniel. Amy, you are a volunteer with the association. I know you were also recently diagnosed with mild cognitive impairment. We do want to talk about that. So why don't we just start with, since we've been talking about that during this program, about how you're diagnosed, how that came about and what that was like.
Sure, yeah. I actually own a home care company, and I've been a volunteer for the association for almost 15 years. And I'd love to say that I saw the signs in myself, but unfortunately I didn't. And it was my family doing a hard stop. We've had this conversation 500 times, and I'm not going to have it again with you. I walked away crying, and I knew that I needed to see a neurologist and get tested.
So let's talk about, for a moment, MCI itself. Explain what it is. It is not Alzheimer's, but it's something that I'm sure people will hear that story you just told and say,
Yeah.
oh, that's me.
And I hope that they do, right? That's why I'm trying to spread awareness, especially for early detection is key. You know, for me, it was just, I knew that I had to do something to figure out what I was struggling with. So mild cognitive impairment just falls under the umbrella, you know, just like Alzheimer's does. It's under the dementia umbrella. There's a lot of different types of dementia. Memory loss, I had an issue with word finding, processing. So, you know, it's a lot of different symptoms, and everybody could have a little bit different. But I was having issues remembering, short-term memory loss, and also with a lot of word finding.
And we'll go back to that if we could. I want to hear more about your volunteer work as well.
Yeah.
Keith, champion for research, what are some of the latest initiatives that the association is keying on right now that you want people to know about?
Well, being that this is National Caregivers Month, I am super excited about the initiative about dementia care navigation. In July, we launched, in conjunction with CMS, the GUIDE model, which is a model that's designed to create a standardized care plan or care navigation system. Because right now, once a person is diagnosed, in terms of looking for resources and where to go, it's like going through a maze. And so this is going to standardize that whole process and take the stress out of it, because you know, providing care is a challenge all of in itself. So if we can lighten that load a little bit and make it a little bit more easier journey to go through, we're going to really see our caregivers do very well.
You know what? I also know for a fact that you have had that experience of being a caregiver. Can you shed a little light on some of the challenges and also the coping when you're faced with caring for someone, a loved one perhaps with Alzheimer's?
Yeah, you know, I am not ashamed to say that early on when I was a caregiver for my brother, who died at age 54 with vascular dementia, I was not a great caregiver because I was too busy focusing on the disease versus the relationship. And that's where a lot of caregivers lose a lot of time, because right now we know that there's no cure for this disease. So we kind of like embrace that sense of hopelessness. But what really helped me to turn it around was realizing that it's about the relationship and time that I have with my brother. And the moment I was able to make that pivot, it was a great experience for me, you know, being a caregiver. I'm not ashamed to say that there were moments that I cried, even cussed a little bit, but not in front of him, because, you know, I grew up in a family where the men really embraced and hugged and kissed each other and told each other, we love you. And so when my brother would have those moments and of clarity, and he would say, I was bad yesterday, wasn't I? And I would say, you know what? I love you so much, it doesn't matter. And he says, I love you too. Because it, you know, the challenge that, you know, we have as caregivers is, you know, keeping the main thing, and the main thing is the relationship, and giving them the best medicine that money cannot buy. It's an emotion, and it's called love. You give them love, and they will respond to that.
That is the message. Amy, I want to go back to your situation because people now heard what MCI is.
Yeah.
They probably want to know what the impact has been on you, the people around you, since your diagnosis. What's life like? Has life changed at all? What's happening?
So life hasn't changed too much. I own a home care agency in Delray Beach, and I work full-time, and I volunteer. An Alzheimer's educator, support group facilitator, advocate on the state and federal level. My passion and my why is working with caregivers and trying to help them navigate so that they can be the best caregiver to their loved one. So the biggest impact for me is some days are good and some days not so good. I actually went to a conference and sat in on somebody who was talking about hearing loss and cognitive impairment, and I walked out of the conference, made myself an appointment to have a hearing test, and I actually wear hearing aids, and my family said within weeks they noticed a huge difference. So for me, that's been a huge impact.
That's a great positive.
Yeah.
I want to, if we could, at the end of this segment, talk about hope and where you find hope. And Keith, I'll start with you. Don't take all the time because I need Amy for 30 seconds too. But what gives you the most hope, and what do you want to impart to people about hope?
Well, the hope is this new era of treatment that we have, because I remember many, many years ago, we used to talk about hope was on the horizon, but hope is right here now with these new amazing treatments that are designed to address the biology of the disease and reduce the mild cognitive impairment, and which in essence translates into more time for families with their loved ones, because at the end of the day, that's what it's really all about.
And Amy, you're spreading
time.
hope too, right? I mean, I know that you have a message of hope.
Absolutely, I have a message of hope. I can tell you when I started advocacy 8 years ago, nobody wanted to talk about the word Alzheimer's. We were talking about research and begging for money, and nobody wanted to talk to us. And where we've come in 8 years, that now that there is treatment for people in the early stages, I can't stress enough how important early detection is, not pretending it away, making sure that you are getting help, because there is help out there.
And that is the message of this morning. Amy, Keith, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
On the Record, we'll be right back.
Welcome to Nissan. Are you interested in
a test drive?
Absolutely.
There's the all-new Kicks, the new V6-powered Frontier, and the Nissan Rogue. Consumer Guide's Best Buy 10 years in a row.
Finished with all your holiday shopping?
We are now.
Hurry in to the Nissan year-end sales event. Now, get a low $269 per month lease on Rogue, one of 6 Nissan vehicles with starting MSRP under $30,000.
At HealthSun, we go beyond healthcare with Medicare Advantage plans that take care of the whole you. Our dual-eligible plans offer more benefits on top of your Medicaid coverage to make life easier. Get a monthly allowance for groceries and utilities, and a monthly allowance for OTC items. You'll also access a network of providers who take care of you from head to toe, all in one place. Call HealthSun today.
I'm Bob Gordon. Over 30 years ago, we built Gordon Partners on a foundation of personalized service, individual attention, and most importantly, results for our clients. We understand the stress and injury can have on you and your family and welcome the opportunity to serve you. Call 333-3333. Let us help you navigate these difficult times. We are your personal injury law firm, Gordon Partners, for the injured.
Flight deck, we are go for launch.
Is that the one?
So much space. That open kitchen. Is that a walk-in closet?
Oh, the tiles. Boosters engaged. Wait, we got a problem.
Problem?
How can you sell your house when we're stuck on a space station for months?
Oh, bad timing, but that was the one.
No, open door.
Don't open the door.
Open door gives you the flexibility to sell and buy on your timeline.
Really?
Yeah.
We have liftoff. Houston, we have a playroom.
I'm going to make this real simple. National Floors Direct will beat anyone's price by 15% or it's free. Free rooms, 60, 70% off, a big box warehouse, it doesn't matter what the sale or offer is. We'll beat their price by 15% or it's free. Call 888-400-FLOOR and get a guaranteed low price on next day installation of name brand carpet and luxury flooring. 888-400-FLOOR. We beat their price by 15% or it's free. Real simple.
Stay ahead of the storm. Download the WPBF 25 News app today.
As always, we encourage you to be part of our discussion each and every Sunday. We're always right here at 10 a.m. Until the next time, you can watch this morning's On the Record program and every episode on our website, WPBF.com, and our free WPBF 25 News app. Matter of Fact with Soleil O'Brien is next. We hope you have a great day. We'll see you again next Sunday.